Tim, welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Hublot Big Bang King Power Unico 18 karat King Rose Gold and Black Ceramic in a 48mm package. This Hublot is, like all the watches featured on our YouTube channel, actual inventory in stock and available for immediate purchase and delivery on our retail website, watchyouwant.com. And if you like getting the latest news, views, and reviews in daily video format, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. Now in 2008 we first got our initial glimpse of the King Power, a bigger bang, so to speak. It took everything that was big, bold, extrovert, flamboyant, and special, quite frankly, about that original Hublot Big Bang from 2005, and it upped the ante. A bigger case, a more modular, machine-like aesthetic, partially relieved bezels, a deeper, more expressive dial, and it just took that original sense of occasion that Hublot pioneered with the Big Bang to the next level. And on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the watch wears with a supernova presence that's undeniable. If you want to wear an Hublot, you want to be seen, you want to make a statement. This watch makes a splash like a cannonball off the high dive. It's not awkward to wear on a smaller wrist. In fact, you can see from this angle that although it's 48mm across the round portion of the case, it actually only stretches about the width of my smallish wrist. Now my wrist is a bit undersized by the standards of most men, so if your wrist is comparably shaped and comparably sized to mine, you'll have no problem wearing this watch. One of the nice things about black ceramic in this case is that it's very light. It's not quite forged carbon light, but it's much, much lighter than steel or any precious metal. Now the rose gold inclusions are more of a visual accent than a mass accent. They increase the presence of the watch, but not the heft of the watch. So the watch wears comfortably, even on a smaller wrist, and it has a lightness that you would associate with something like a titanium timepiece. Now it's also a very comfortable watch because Hublot understands that a big watch has to wear small in order to be usable for most customers. So you have these very short, pre-curved lugs. Now they already cant downward to help this very soft, partially segmented natural rubber strap curve around a smaller wrist. Now you can see when I do this from this angle that the soft, pliant, and exceptionally high quality Hublot rubber strap, and that's been a signature of theirs for a long time, can be pulled down almost straight. So if you do have that small wrist, the Hublot is willing to meet you halfway in terms of ergonomics. And the strap is a highlight. Hublot's been doing this since 1980, and they're second to none in the business. The bottom line is that they've got straps down to a science. Every strap they make feels silky, smooth. It reeks of quality. It exudes attention to detail, material substance, not butyl or fake rubber, not silicone, a sort of vulnerable gummy substance. This is the real thing, latex-based, expensive to make, beautifully executed, and again, these accordion cuts, these sort of bellows that are cut into the flanks of the strap, allow it to bend with ease. The clasp is equal to the quality of the strap. Now, partially PVD titanium and partially rose gold, king gold in this case. You can see it's a twin trigger release for exceptional security on the wrist. It's finished to the same standard as the watch itself, and in a nice little stylistic flourish, you can see those Hublot signature titanium H pattern bolts holding the gold portion onto the titanium. Well done, beautifully detailed, but the centerpiece, the star, the reason for being is always going to be the case itself, is always going to be this classic, modular, segmented, layered Hublot case. Bigger and bolder, as I said, the King Power is a 48. Now in practical terms, it doesn't feel much larger on the wrist than a Big Bang, but visually much more expressive. This one's more so because the combination of the gold, the ceramic, the composite inlays along the side, and the striated rubber that runs along the side of the bezel itself, along with the black PVD titanium H pattern Hublot bezel bolts. There's a lot of contrast going on here, and in my opinion it has more visual impact. It's more compelling to have these accents juxtaposed with the darkness of the case and the darkness of the strap than to have all gold. That's just a little bit overwhelming. This is studied, judicious, and I think more powerful for it. You can see those accents are present in the crown and the chronograph pushers as well, themselves inlaid with a little bit of rubber for additional contrast. So the effect is dramatic. This is a watch that just might catch more glances than full gold. because it does have that power of contrast to draw upon. Now the dial continues the theme, and in the fashion of the Unico Hublot models or the Aero models, it's skeletonized, not partially but fully. You could even call this a completely open dial. The key is that there are multiple layers of sapphire. The first, of course, that covers the dial itself, and the second that forms the base for all of the applied rose gold indices, as well as the sub-registers and the Hublot marquee at 12 o'clock inside the watch. The key thing here is that that sapphire is actually part of a sapphire sandwich that you're looking at. There's the one that covers, there's the one that effectively forms the transparent dial base with the indices, and then there's a date disc, which you can sort of see running around the circumference of the dial, so it has the numerals printed onto it, and then it has a light-colored backing panel right here at 4:30 that actually backlights the date and allows you to see whichever date is lined up with the panel. So you have that circular skeletonized sapphire bearing the numerals for the date, you have the sapphire that forms the base for the dial, and you have the cover. This is a watch with depth on so many levels, from the bezel to the chapter ring rehaut bearing the 0 to 60 minute calibrations, to the platform that appears to float, leaving the sub-registers, the indices of the hour marks, and of course the Hublot marquee seemingly suspended above the base of the movement. And then all the way at the bottom you can see the black PVD Hublot caliber 1240 Unico flyback chronograph movement. Now, I've said some nice things about the Unico in the past, all of them sincere, because while Hublot didn't make its name in watchmaking, it made its name with material combinations, with knockout punch aesthetics, with a love it or leave it, love it or hate it type of persona. With the debut of the Unico, after 2009, Hublot could be claimed to be a legitimate manufacturer, and it's a very respectable movement in terms of its architecture and engineering, with a 70 to 72 hour power reserve, column wheel actuation, and flyback capability, single touch reset and restart built in. Every single one of these Unico movements packs a formidable manufacturer pedigree. This is Hublot's own movement, and it's built in Hublot's own image. By that I mean it's more or less an inside-out movement. A lot of the features that are typically on the back of the watch on a conventional chronograph are sort of inverted and flipped to the skeletonized dial for your viewing pleasure on the Unico. Now you can see the column wheel at 6 o'clock. When I stop the chronograph seconds hand, reset and restart, you can actually see the column wheel advancing as I cycle through the functions. Normally that wouldn't be visible on the dial of a watch, even a skeleton. Hublot turned the Unico inside out so you could enjoy it without taking the watch off the wrist. Likewise, when the watch is in motion and the chronograph is running, you can see the chronograph drivetrain just beneath the dial. Let me see if I can get the chronograph. There you go. You can see the chronograph drivetrain actually turning the chronograph seconds hand. That lateral clutch is also part of the works that would normally be on the back of a conventional chronograph. Thanks to skeletonization and Hublot's manufacture capability, they were able to reveal the dial side of the movement and move that drivetrain to the dial side for your viewing pleasure once more. It's a beautifully built movement. Ceramic bearings. It also features silicone components for low friction and long life in the escapement. It's a very fascinating case study in modern watchmaking, and there are a lot of innovative solutions, including running the minute register directly off the barrel so as not to adversely affect amplitude when the chronograph is running. So this is a thoughtful, modern, efficient, and long-legged 72-hour movement. If you were to put this watch down on a Friday, fully topped off, you could pick it up on a Monday and it would still be ticking. As ever, Hublot's using their signature tungsten winding mass on a skeletonized rotor, and this time you can see just how evacuated that rotor is. It almost has the benefit that you would get from a completely open manual wind movement. I've never seen a rotor this completely evacuated, giving you this much of a view of the movement. Normally, an automatic rotor, because of its inherent form and size, is going to block out half of the movement at any given time. On the Unico, it's barely an obstruction. Thoughtfully designed front and rear, and with black ceramic, virtually scratch-proof. Unless you're going to come in contact with diamond tools or crash this thing on a motorcycle, chances are it'll look as beautiful in 10, 15 years as it does the day you take it home from Watch You Want. So if you like big, if you like bold, if you want a bigger bang, definitely check out this Hublot Big Bang King Power Unico 18 karat King Gold intensely red, beautifully and judiciously employed, with black ceramic, 48 millimeters, Unico movement on our website, whatyouwant.com.